Welcome, folks, to Junior and Junior. I am your host, Jared Running Jr., joined by.
Dale Summerfield Jr.
All right, folks, we're a little bit behind the ball. Streaming here a little late. Someone once threw me under the bus for oversleeping. I'm a nice guy, though, so I'm not going to say who overslept this time. All right. With that, we're going to get into the show. We're going to talk about the World Baseball Classic final that happened Tuesday night. Following that, we will talk about college hockey, both the men's national tournament starting at 2 o'clock Central Time this afternoon, and then we'll talk about the women's Frozen Four. To end the show, we're going to be going over Endless Summer Vacation from Miley Cyrus, her big album that's got that exploding on the scene song, Flowers. First, let's start with World Baseball Classic, Dale. United States, Japan, going at it Tuesday night. Dream matchup, for me at least. I don't know about you, but for me, that was the dream matchup in the finals.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially with Shohei versus Mike Trout for that final at bat.
Yeah, we'll get to that, and we'll get to that. Some people are giving Mad Dog Russo some crap for saying that's not the greatest at bat ever, but we'll get to
but
that.
no,
We're gonna.
yeah, yeah, no, it was a dream matchup. I mean, you had two dominant powerhouses. Yeah, I mean, just Shohei. You had Trey Turner, Mike Trout. I mean, Japan and the U.S. are always those two teams that always have the best baseball players in the world, I think. Them
Yeah,
or the Dominican too, but I mean, this was really this year's was the dream matchup.
yeah. So I mean, crazy matchup, a lot of stars. I'm happy we got to witness it. So let's go over a quick recap of the scoring plays, and then the ninth inning. Trey Turner starts the scoring off with a solo home run to give the United States the early lead 1-0 and the top of the second. But that didn't last long as Muntaka Murakami ties it up in the bottom of the second on a solo shot of his own. Japan takes a 2-1 lead off a Lars Nootbaar fielder's choice ground out. Sent the runner home. They got Nootbaar out at first. Japan takes a 2-1 lead. At this point, Japan would ride the lead till the end. Really, the only differences would be Kazuma Okamoto homers to put Samurai Japan up 3-1 in the bottom of the fourth. Now they're up 3-1. Okay. At this point, if you're an American, you're not feeling good. You know it's coming. Darvish, Otani are going to be getting into this game at some point to put it away because they didn't start you, Darvish. And that turned out to be the right decision. It did, because once they added Darvish to the mix in the eighth, Kyle Schwarber adds a run for the United States off a solo shot, but that would cap the scoring. Darvish would find a way to get out of the eighth inning. We would go to the ninth inning with a 3-2 lead for Japan. Bottom of the ninth, it was the Americans' worst nightmare. Folks, in the bottom of the ninth, we seen what we expected, but as an American, you were hoping wouldn't happen. It was showtime. Shohei Otani takes the jog out from the bullpen. Game on the line to close it out. It came down to the matchup everyone wanted to see. Unicorn versus Goat. Angel versus Angel. Otani versus Trout. Otani gets the best of Trout. As Trout said, he wins round one of this matchup. Strikes out Trout on a 3-2 count to end the ball game and win the World Baseball Classic for Japan.
yeah, I mean, now do you make Shohei a closer or
Well, see, I don't think you can. I think Japan
no?
Japan got see, and this is the thing is people might say that, but Japan, and I know you're joking, but people that are serious about that, about the idea of Shohei being a closer, Japan had to play that really right. Anybody who didn't watch the game that thinks Shohei could be a closer, there's a big reason why he can't, and Smoltz talked about this. And it's about warming the pitcher up. He's in the lineup, so you gotta perfectly play it, and Japan did perfectly play it. He's got a bat in the inning, and then you send him out to the bullpen in between innings to start warming up, but he can't exactly warm up in the eighth for the ninth because he might have to hit in the eighth. So you gotta play it right where you're getting him out there when you think it's gonna be your last chance to kind of stretch him, and then send him out there if you can to warm him up a little bit more. But yeah, I don't know, it's tough.
Well, the only crummy part is it sucks that the NL has a DH now. I mean, I love the DH in the NL, but it would have been cool to see Shohei go to an NL team where he could hit and pitch in the same game.
Yeah, but he already does that.
Yeah.
Which that's the thing. I'm gonna bring this up because I love it with Shohei. I love it with the Shohei. I do. But it's such a disadvantage to every other team that doesn't have an Otani. And that's the Otani rule. The fact that Shohei can start as the DH and the starting pitcher in the exact same game and be pulled as the pitcher but still hit. I like it for Shohei, but who else is there? Like, it's a rule purely made to show fans Otani more. And I don't hate seeing Otani, obviously, but really? Like, I I don't know. That like here. Like here's the perfect example. And because the WBC uses the MLB rules, most hitters aren't going to go out to the bullpen and close out a game because they can't. Or most pitchers aren't going to hit in a game because they just can't. They're not hitters. But then you see Otani hit for the entire game, and they come out with the bullpen to close it. And, well, it's a cool sight. It brings into question, don't we kind of need more two-way players like this before we give a guy an entire rule that essentially gives his team an advantage? And his team sucks. And I'm not talking about Team Japan, because Team Japan's good. Team Japan got to use it to its fullest ability. The Angels suck. But if the Angels were a good team, can you imagine facing Game 7 of the World Series and Otani comes running out of the bullpen to end it? I'd be pissed.
Well, and too, like with, I agree though, we do need more two-way players. So I don't know, do you limit one per, like, if say you have all these two-way players, do you allow one to go to each team? So like one team's not all stocked up, all of them, like, I,
But it's like his nickname says, he's the unicorn. There is no other Shohei Otani, and
mhm.
even in the two-way players, we do see the I can't think of his name right now, but the Rays have that starting pitcher who I believe can play first base as well. But like even he hasn't quite broken out. I can't remember his name, but even teams that do have two-way players, there's no Shohei Otani. Like every two-way player seems to fall flat on their face, except
Mhm.
Otani. And maybe it's something you can never solve. Maybe it was a mistake to give him the rule. But what can you do? I guess. Really, it's just I don't know, and it's not something that you would look at in most situations, and it is what it is, and I'm not going to say that Japan didn't deserve to win because they did what. That's not, well, just I'm just so we're clear, that's not what I'm saying, because Japan has every right to use a rule like that to their advantage. They have every right to use their two-way player to their advantage. It's not their fault that the U.S. doesn't have a two-way player, or the Dominican, or the Puerto Rico team, or Mexico, or anybody else that they faced along the way. It's just not It's not that they shouldn't be able to use Otani. It's that the MLB needs to think about how rules affect all 29 other teams and not just the one team that does have Otani. Because this question is going to really come into play when Otani hits free agency and he goes somewhere.
I don't think he stays an Angel.
No, there's no way he does. He's going to go somewhere he can win, and we're going to start to find out the real ramifications of this question when he goes somewhere that is a playoff team, that's a World Series contender, and you actually see Shohei Otani playing the playoffs.
To be honest with you, like right now, I think it is like what my MLB wrote to the show guy is facing. He's going to be an Astro.
If Shohei Otani goes to the Astros, the rest of the league better just pack it up because it's not even worth playing. The Astros are clearly the best team in the league, and then if they added Otani, yeah, that wouldn't be fair.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like you might as well not even play any games and just award the winner.
Yeah. But after all that ranting, I suppose it's time to give out the congratulations. So that nobody thinks that we're trying to beat around this, not give it to them, move on without giving it to them. It's a bittersweet congratulations to have to hand out as Americans here, but it's how it works. Congratulations to Japan, Samurai Japan, on capturing the 2023 World Baseball Classic Championship and a third all-time, most of any nation.
Yeah, they got 3. Dominican has 1. USA has 1.
I was really hoping the U.S. would win this simply just to tie Japan.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be 2 more World Baseball Classics that you're going to have to win in a row without Japan winning to tie them.
Yeah.
Because Japan's going to win the next one too. And yeah.
but congrats to Japan, I mean.
Yeah. And
like,
to wrap this up, you talk.
No, I was going to say, had USA lost, say to Mexico, I would have took Japan.
Well, if the U.S. would have lost to Cuba, the U.S. would have lost to Venezuela. I mean, if the U.S. was out, Japan was always the team I expected to win it. But deep down, as a red-blooded American,
mm-hmm.
I'd root for my country.
Mm-hmm.
Final line score of the ball game reads: Japan 3, Philadelphia Phillies 2. I mean, United States 2. I said it. Well, it's true. The only runs put on the board came off the bat of Trey Turner, off the bat of Kyle Schwarber, both Philadelphia Phillies. The United States obviously would have been better off sending the Phillies.
That's what I was just going to say. So what, 2026 is just going to be the Phillies lineup?
Yeah. Well, Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber, JT Realmuto, Trey Turner. Ooh. Bryson Stott, Alec Bohm. I'm seeing a lot of Americans here. An ace of the staff, a young man by the name of Andrew Painter. He's only 19 right now. He'll be young enough to be leading the United States into the 2026 World Baseball Classic. There we go. Listen. I'll be the GM of the 2026 World Baseball Classic United States team, and when we win, because we leave Mike Trout's not clutch ass back in Anaheim or back where the Angels are playing spring training, you guys can all congratulate me, because the real Captain America is Trey Turner, who would have won World Baseball Classic MVP if it wasn't for Otani being crazy and winning Japan the title.
I think they should have either had a dual MVP or they should have did like what they used to do in the Super Bowl back. I think when the Cowboys lost to the Colts, where they gave it to the Cowboy.
I think Otani was the better player, though. I mean,
yeah.
I love Trey Turner and what Trey Turner did for the United States, but Otani is just Otani. There's no other way to describe him. What he did for Japan obviously had to win MVP.
So then that sparks the debate of is Otani or Trout the Babe Ruth of baseball? Like, is Otani the greatest player like that could ever be, or is that still Mike Trout? Like,
It's probably Otani, but they're not comparable at the same time
mm-hmm.
because like Otani kind of feels like if you took Babe Ruth and he stayed a starting pitcher his entire career, it's just not really fair to compare Otani to anybody else because he does both. Um,
Yeah.
I don't. It's like the whole thing with the MVP. Otani technically should win it every year because he's a pitcher, because he hits. Like, I don't know, folks. But congratulations to Shohei Otani. He didn't even say it. I'm
Mm-hmm.
winning World Baseball Classic MVP. Um, well deserving of it. If anything, if you want to make an argument for a loser winning it, it would have been Shohei Otani. So, yeah.
You meet Trey Turner?
No, I'm saying if the United States would have won, like,
Oh,
yeah, Otani would have been deserving of winning it
oh.
anyway. Um, because he's Shohei Otani, what he did the entire tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we seen it. He was named the MVP of the tournament. But yeah,
Well, and I remember the first year in the big leagues, he sucked. Like, he was garbage. Like his
everyone
first
wrote
like
him off.
yeah, like his first 4 or 5 starts, like why the heck did the Angels get this guy? Like,
I don't know. I I don't. Oh, he's probably staying on the West Coast. That's gonna be fine. Watch him be a Los Angeles Dodger.
or a Padre.
Before we gotta think about that hellhole of a world where Otani plays for either of those teams, let's move on to college hockey. But before we do that, we're gonna take a quick ad break, and we will be right back here. Junior on the Dogs Maniac Entertainment YouTube channel. Head over to tpublic.com/UMDBlogs Maniac to get all of your official Dogs Maniac Entertainment merchandise. The I Like Ike, Isaac Howard t-shirt, Welcome to the Dog Pound, the Max and Zam Plant approved plant pipeline, and winning doggy style since 1965. Once again, guys, head over to tpublic.com/UMD Bulldogs Maniac. If you want to catch more Junior content, you can have it over the Instagram _Junior _ or the TikTok Dogs Maniac Entertainment. As well, you guys can catch us here every Thursday morning, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time at the Dogs Maniac Entertainment YouTube channel. All right, guys, let's get back to the show. Folks, we are back. It's time to talk college hockey. Dale, it's the men's national tournament. Soon we're going to be done talking college hockey. This is like when we were done talking college football. But we still got another month of hockey. Well, we still got another 3 weeks of hockey. We'll have the off week next week. Regionals starting later today. So, folks, we'll run down each region, all 4 regionals, who's coming out of the regionals, and then we'll move on to talking about the women's Frozen Four that just concluded last weekend. All right, folks. The Fargo Regional. Some may argue the most bullshit of all regionals. Number 1, Minnesota versus number 4 in the region, Canisius. I'm just not going to add seeds to the other teams, just the 1, 2, 3, 4, the top seeds. Number 1, Minnesota versus Canisius, and St. Cloud versus Minnesota State. Tough region here. Canisius could come out. Okay, who am I kidding? Canisius will not come out. Minnesota's going to beat Canisius. You agree with that, Dale?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That brings us to the matchup: St. Cloud versus Minnesota State. Mankato. Who's going to face the Gophers with the trip to Tampa on the line? I think this is a tough one. St. Cloud has Mankato's number. Um, tough, tough. I want to go Mankato, but that idea that St. Cloud has Mankato's number does kind of throw me off a bit there. That's the toughest one for me. Every other matchup, I have a pretty easy idea of who I think is gonna win. But it's really that St. Cloud Mankato matchup. Who you think, Dale?
I think Mankato.
You think Mankato? Yeah. Well, in my official bracket, this is the one I went back and forth on. I had both of these teams going to the Frozen Four at separate times. Because I think this is who beats Minnesota. I like Mankato. Mankato's my second favorite team after UMD and D1 college hockey. I'm going to go St. Cloud, though. I think I got to roll with them. And St. Cloud's going to knock out Minnesota to go to the Frozen Four. Dale's got Minnesota going to the Frozen Four. I already know it. He really believes in those golden goals.
Nope.
Oh, okay. Dale's got Mankato in the Frozen Four, I'm guessing then. Mm-hmm. All right. Move on to the Manchester Regional. This is who will face Mankato or St. Cloud in the Frozen Four based on our picks, because that's how it works. You don't like reseed once you get there. You just face whoever is on your side, and whoever's on the other side faces off. Number 4, Denver versus Cornell, and Boston University versus Western Michigan. Like I said, not even a hard debate for me on any other region. I got Denver over Cornell, and I got Western Michigan over Boston University. If you want to say upset alert, you can. But, yeah, easily Denver, Western Michigan to meet for the opportunity to go to Tampa. How about you, Dale?
No, I agree. It's Denver and Western Michigan. I mean, yeah, I don't see any upsets happening in that region.
Yeah, I'm gonna send Denver to the Frozen Four over Western Michigan. Should be a fun matchup, but I think Denver is the superior team coming out of the NCHC. So that means in mine, I have 2 NCHC teams in the Frozen Four, becoming all too common. Dale's got Mankato and Denver. I didn't let you say who you're picking. You said you did pick Denver, right?
Yes.
Okay. He's picking Denver. Okay. Bridgeport region. We got the Bridgeport region. Number 2, Quinnipiac versus Merrimack, and Harvard versus Ohio State. Very hard region here to pick. Not at all. Dale, who you got?
Got Quinnipiac, and I got upset alert. Harvard over Ohio State.
I'm pretty sure the upset alert would be Ohio State over Harvard.
Oh.
But all good.
Okay, sounds good. Well, I wasn't sure what they were ranked. That's why
I don't know the rankings, but I think Ohio State's a 3 seed.
Okay.
Yeah, because they are seeded in brackets, but it'd get way too confusing if I'm going number 2 Quinnipiac versus number 4 Merrimack, and number 2 Harvard versus number 3. Because I got their actual in the country. Yeah, I'm gonna go Quinnipiac. I'm gonna go Harvard, and I'm gonna send Quinnipiac to the Frozen Four.
Yeah, I agree. I think
Yeah, I like Quinnipiac's chances this year. Number 2 in the country. Why not? Why not make a trip back to the Frozen Four in Tampa? I want to say the last time the Frozen Four was in Tampa, the national championship was North Dakota versus Quinnipiac. North Dakota, of course, winning that. North Dakota not here this year. That leaves us with one last region, one last team, one last berth in the Frozen Four in Tampa. Michigan, number 3, versus Colgate, and Penn State versus Michigan Tech. Dale, I obviously know you're picking Michigan Tech, so that's not a question. I'm just gonna go Michigan Penn State here.
Yeah,
Penn
Michigan,
State's
Penn State.
actually, I'm gonna flip it. Penn State is super cold. I'm gonna go Michigan Tech, because Penn State has like 4 wins in the second half of the season. They're like 4-11 or 4-10 and something in the second half of the season. I just seen yesterday, which is utterly crazy. I don't know how they stayed afloat. They must have been pretty good in the first half or something. I don't know. I'll see if I can find the stat somewhere, but I think I seen something like that where Penn State has had a really tough second half of the year, so I got to go with Michigan Tech. I can't quite find the official standing thing there, but yeah. So I'm gonna go Michigan Tech, and I'm gonna send Michigan to the Frozen Four. Dale, who are you sending on Michigan and Penn State?
Penn State. Actually, no, my bad. Michigan.
Okay.
Sending out Michigan to the
Yeah, I mean, so that our only difference then would be who comes out of that St. Cloud and Minnesota State matchup. But yeah, St. Cloud for me. I got Denver. I got Quinnipiac. I got Michigan. So I send a 2 seed. Dale sends a 3 seed. The only difference there.
Well, what I think the championship game would be Quinnipiac. I think Quinnipiac beats Michigan.
Yeah.
So I think Quinnipiac will face Minnesota State. I think it's going to be a big win for Minnesota State, but I think in the end it's going to be Quinnipiac that wins it all.
Well, my national championship is the same national champion I've had since the beginning of the year. Denver is going to beat St. Cloud, and Quinnipiac is going to beat Michigan. Denver is going to go back to back. They're going to be the reigning, defending, back-to-back national champions. The second team to do it in NCHC history. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-time national championship winning conference. If I did the math wrong on that, that'd be embarrassing. But we can go over all the teams just so everyone's clear. North Dakota, Denver, UMD, Denver, and then Denver. Yeah. 6-time. And with that, we will move on to also Denver, I believe, would become 10-time national champions, most in the nation. So, not to bury that story, they would break their tie with Michigan and be atop alone. So, I honestly would love a Michigan-Denver national championship with that whole storyline behind it. 9 versus 9. One team will walk out with the most national titles in history. Like, that would be a great story, but I don't think so. I think Quinnipiac's going to be there. And with that, we'll move on to the women's Frozen Four. We got just a quick little blurb here to read. Not going to do an in-depth recap of the games or anything. Just know that Wisconsin met Ohio State in the national championship. And with that, I'm going to read the message, Dale. You can bask in it or whatever. Congratulations to Mark Johnson, Caroline Harvey, Jesse Comfort, and the entire Wisconsin Badgers on winning the 2023 Women's Hockey National Championship. The Badgers were victorious in the championship game over fellow WCHA competitor Ohio State. We love to see the conference succeed and once again reign supreme over women's hockey. Congratulations again to the Wisconsin Badgers.
Wisconsin.
Fuck Wisconsin. They didn't think I was going to be nice to them just because they won. Fine. I'm not saying I'm Wisconsin, Dale. I'm not doing that, so don't get any ideas. But fine. You won the national title. Good for you. On we move. I don't have a disdain for the Wisconsin women's team like I have a disdain for the Wisconsin men's team. It ain't there. The Wisconsin women's team has way too many Team USA players that I am a huge fan of. So the disdain is a lot harder to hold. Including Caroline Harvey, Britta Curl, Jessie Comfer, Lacey Eden, whoever else I'm forgetting. I can't go over the entire roster, but once again we say WCHA, lots of Team USA players. And on a separate note, I just want to say this. Congratulations to Gabby Hughes on being invited to tryouts for the USA Women's National Team, just graduating from the University of Minnesota Duluth. We love to see it, Gabby. Hopefully you make the team. And if Ann was here, he would have a much better send-off message for that. With that, though, guys, we are going to quickly run an ad break again. And when we come back, we'll be talking Endless Summer Vacation from Miley Cyrus to wrap up the show. All right, guys, we will be right back here. Don't go anywhere. And folks, we are back. It is time to wrap up the show. Album review time. On the docket this week for Junior and Junior, we have the newest album from Miley Cyrus, Endless Summer Vacation. So no more jibber jabber. It's time to hear what Junior and Junior has to say. Dale, the floor is yours.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I Endless Summer Vacation, by Miley Cyrus. Thought it was a good album for Miley. You know, most of these I like to keep short and sweet. But no, one of my favorite songs on there, what I like was Violet Chemistry. Really enjoyed that one. Also enjoyed Muddy Feet, Thousand Miles, Flowers. The one I really didn't like though was Jaded. I don't know. I just
Oh, yeah. I agree with
yeah,
you on that. I will get to that, yeah.
yeah. I just not a fan. Just there. But no, all the other songs. I mean, Island and Wild Card, I also enjoyed. But yeah, I mean overall, it's a great album. I just did not like the Jaded one. Really ruined my rating for the album.
Yeah. It really
Like
left you jaded, huh?
yeah, but before that song, what like it was the second song in. So what sucked was when I listened to all of it, I had it at about a 9 out of 10. After Jaded, it was about like a 5 out of 10.
Oh,
But
really?
then it but then it got
Okay.
boosted back up to about probably a 7.5, 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
But yeah, that Jaded one really had the rest of the album been bad. This would have been my worst ranking in a long time.
Yeah. We're worse than Slipknot, huh? When Dale literally, for people who were not watching at the time, Dale literally refused to listen to the album. He listened to the first couple songs and he said, "This album is so bad, I will not listen to the rest of it." And I don't blame him because that album got a 0 from me.
Hmm.
I believe that album got a 0. It
I
it either
believe
got a
so,
0 or a
yes.
1. It was never
Yeah, it
again.
was the
Yeah.
Never Again Will Slipknot. make it.
Nope.
It will never be an appearance on the show.
So if you guys are waiting for Slipknot to make another appearance on our album review, keep waiting because it's not going to happen. Slipknot will never be on Junior and Junior again. I can promise you that right now. Worst album ever. All right. So Dale, are you wrapped up? You want me to go into my review? Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Eight out of 10. And yeah, this is probably my favorite Miley Cyrus album or songs that I listen to. I'm not a big Miley fan, but man, this was a semi good album for being Miley Cyrus. So yeah, it's all floor is yours.
All right. I mean, overall, I think this is a very solid to good album. From Miley Cyrus. Obviously, the big hit off of it, as I said at the start of the show, is Flowers. And while I think that's a top tier track from the album, despite being arguably overplayed these days, I still don't consider it my favorite. Truthfully, my favorite is a battle between the top three or four, Flower being one of those, as well as You and Violet Chemistry. But ultimately, I'm going to go 1,000 Miles featuring Brandy Carlisle. I think that the album, though, like you were saying, has a lot of good contenders.
Mhm.
I think that there's good albums or good songs throughout the album. I think that there's only really one bad song, and yeah. On the other hand, my least favorite track, I already kind of showed my hand on this. This isn't even a question. It's Jaded. Originally a track I liked. As the album went on, it slowly lost any goodwill I had towards it as I heard more and more songs better than it. I mean, don't get me wrong, it has a nice beat, a nice instrumental to it, but in
Mhm.
comparison to the rest of the album, it's not good. It's nothing special. It's essentially a skip. I would not need to hear it again. Um yeah, I just no, not a fan of Jaded. It's got its perks, but in comparison to the rest of the album, wow, what a drop off.
Mhm.
I think the album's very good, and I think it's deserving of a 7 out of 10, if not an 8 out of 10, like you were saying, Dale. I think that's the perfect rating for it. I think a 7.5. But if I'm going like uh, rounding it out, either down to a 7 or up to an 8, I think is fair for it.
Yeah, Jaden just left a bad taste in my mouth. Like I was very dissatisfied and made me not want to, because I listened to it in order. It
Yeah,
made me not want to listen to the rest of the song, but thankfully I did.
yeah, I know it's mm. uh yeah. I can't
Yeah.
say anything else about Jaded. I mean, it's just no. Skip.
Hmm.
Next week though, Junior's gonna take a look at an artist for the very first time. Dale doesn't know who this is. I haven't told him what's the album next week. Dale, have you ever heard of a small indie artist by the name of Lana Del Rey?
Nope.
Okay, that was gonna be better if you'd said you heard of her. I wouldn't say she's small. I was hoping you were gonna say you had heard of her. No, Lana Del Rey's got a new album coming out. Should be tonight at midnight. Uh, did you know there's a tunnel under Ocean Boulevard? So next week, Junior and Junior will be looking at Lana Del Rey, someone that was in the running to have some albums looked at for the Tour of the Eras of T Swift, but just didn't quite make the cut. So, guys, with that, if you want to hear what we have to say about Lana Del Rey's new album, tune back in here next Thursday, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, right here at the Dogs Maniac Entertainment YouTube channel. If you don't, still tune in next Thursday, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, right here at the Dogs Maniac Entertainment YouTube channel. I've been Jared,
And I've been Dale.
and we will see you guys right back here next week. Check out some of the other content on the channel. Give us a like, subscribe if you like the content. If you're here at the end of the video, you probably do. So we'll see you guys next week.